The Jenkins family couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, every creak of the old farmhouse amplifying their unease. Emma, obsessed with the book, spent hours deciphering the cryptic symbols, each page drawing her further into the mystery of the Lupercal. One evening, Mark suggested they head to the village pub, hoping to learn more about the farm's history from the locals. The pub was a dim, smoky place, filled with the low hum of conversation and the clinking of glasses. As they entered, conversations paused, and eyes turned their way. The Jenkins family made their way to the bar, where Mark ordered a round of drinks. An old man with a weathered face and piercing blue eyes approached them. "You're the folks who bought the old Thompson place, aren't you?" "Yes, we are," Mark replied, extending a hand. "Mark Jenkins." The old man shook it, his grip firm. "Name's Tom. Been living here my whole life. Surprised anyone would buy that place." "Why's that?" Sarah asked, leaning in. Tom glanced around the room before lowering his voice. "That farm has a dark history. Folks around here don't like to talk about it. Strange things have been happening there for generations." Emma's eyes widened. "What kind of strange things?" Tom hesitated, then said, "Disappearing livestock, strange noises in the night, folks going missing. Some say the land's cursed." Before the Jenkins could ask more, Tom retreated back to his table, leaving them with more questions than answers. They finished their drinks in uneasy silence and returned home. Later that night, as Emma pored over the book in the living room, she came across a page she hadn't seen before. The symbols seemed to shift and writhe on the page, forming new patterns. Her breath caught as she realized it was a map of their farm, marked with strange runes and annotations. "Mom, Dad, come look at this," she called, her voice trembling. Mark and Sarah hurried over, peering over her shoulder at the map. "What does it mean?" Sarah asked. "I'm not sure," Emma replied, "but it looks like there's something buried near the old barn." The family decided to investigate first thing in the morning. As dawn broke, they made their way to the barn, shovels in hand. They dug for hours, the sun climbing higher in the sky, until Mark's shovel struck something solid. With renewed vigor, they cleared the dirt away, revealing a large, weathered chest. Mark heaved it open, revealing a collection of ancient artifacts, bones, and parchments covered in the same symbols as the book. "This must be the Lupercals," Emma whispered. "Their secrets, their history." Suddenly, the air grew cold, and a low growl echoed from the tree line. The family turned to see a pair of glowing yellow eyes watching them, a hulking shadow moving between the trees. The wolves were back, and they were not alone. A figure stepped out from the shadows, hunched and cloaked, with the wolves flanking him. He raised his hand, and the wolves fell silent. The figure moved closer, revealing a gaunt, weathered face that seemed to belong to another era. "Leave this place," the figure rasped, his voice like dry leaves. "The secrets of the Lupercal are not for you." Mark stepped forward, his voice steady. "Who are you?" The figure's eyes gleamed. "I am the last of the Lupercal, the keeper of their knowledge. You have unearthed what should remain buried." Emma clutched the book to her chest. "We just want to understand." The keeper shook his head. "Understanding comes at a price. This land is ours, bound by blood and pact. Leave now, or face the consequences." As he spoke, the wolves began to circle, their eyes never leaving the Jenkins family. The air grew thick with tension, and Mark knew they had no choice. They backed away slowly, leaving the chest and its contents behind. Back at the farmhouse, they bolted the doors and windows, the weight of what they had discovered pressing down on them. The night was filled with the howls of wolves and the whispers of ancient secrets, the darkness outside seeming to close in. They had disturbed something deep and old, something that would not rest until the balance was restored. And as they sat in the flickering candlelight, they knew their journey was far from over. The secrets of the Lupercal were out, and there was no telling what would come next. Outside, in the cold, a pair of yellow eyes watched the farmhouse, and a low growl rumbled through the night. The keeper of the Lupercal had warned them, but the Jenkins family had only begun to uncover the true horrors of their new home.